gwiaździsty turek, a może jest południowa godzina, mazur pszczół w złotych sierpnia pokoja. Wczoraj szpilkę znalazłem w trzcinach pod włosem.
Hi, Taurus. All right. Happy sideways birthday, Aquarius season, or happy now whenever you arrive, Taurus. So, yeah, I was shuffling. We've already picked your cards. I was shuffling about, and we get to the stage where it's kind of like, what's on your shoulders? And I just wanted you to be here because we were kind of tapping into like these different parts of your body. Like we started with the heart, then we went up in your head, like what you're thinking about. Maybe these are questions you might just want to pause in between and sit with just for a second, right? Don't overthink it. Just whatever comes. What's the word, right? Remember a long time ago, hi heart, how are you? You know, like, oh, great. You know, or, oh, lonely, or whatever it may be. Then how are you feeling right now? And let's see what's on your shoulders. We already got one shoulder. Let's see about the other one. Taurus. While we're shuffling, let's go in a few other messages. I feel like somebody's missing a female in their life. Could be a friend, could be a sibling, could be your mother, grandmother, something like that. And then I saw someone's great aunt. I guess we're talking about a lot of folks, so there's a female that's being missed. Could be a female that is no longer here or that you have completed some karma with. It doesn't mean that for all of you, this is someone who is like not in your life ultimately anymore. Like they've left this world exactly, or left your world. But I heard, don't worry, they love you too. Interesting. These cards aren't coming out. All right, this one, yeah. What's in your hands? What are you standing on? And then we have two extras. Oh, before we jump into this, I was reading this morning. This is kind of my occasional like morning tap into 222. It's The Finite and Infinite Games by James P. Carse. It's a beautiful book. This word has been coming a lot. Let me write it down for you, actually, Taurus. Today's the 23rd. Poesis. I believe that's how you say it. Poesis. Poiesis, pardon me. Let's read this. It says, artists do not create objects, but create by way of objects. This was Rank. I believe that's a gentleman. Artists do not create objects, but they create by way of objects. Since art is never possession. Oh, we have to back up. Art is not art. Therefore, except as it leads to an engendering creativity in its beholders. Whoever tries to take possession of the objects of art has not taken possession of the art. Since art is never possession and always possibility, nothing possessed can have the status of art. Art is dramatic, always forward, opening always forward, beginning something that cannot be finished. Because it is not conclusive, but engendering, there is no established catalog of acceptable activities. We are not artists by reason of having mastered certain skills or exercising specified techniques. Art has no scripted roles for its performers. It is precisely because it has none that it is art. Artistry can be found anywhere. Indeed, pardon me, it can only be found anywhere. One must be surprised by it. It cannot be looked for. We do not watch artists to see what they do, but watch what persons do and discover the artistry in it. Isn't that beautiful? It says artists cannot be trained. One does not become an artist by acquiring certain skills or techniques, though one can use any number of skills and techniques in artistic activity. The creative is found in anyone who is prepared for surprise. Such a person cannot go to school to become an artist, but can only go to school as an artist. Therefore, poets do not fit into society, not because a place is denied them, but because they do not take their places that seriously. They openly see its roles as theatrical, its styles as poses, its clothing costumes, its rules conventional, its crises arranged, its conflicts performed, and its metaphysics ideological. I love him. It's that section once it gets into art is trippy. You know, like when you create, do you we talked about this before when Taurus, we asked, there was a message with Taurus collective energy once where it's like, do you say the word mine a lot? Right? Because that's a possession, right? My something. Oh, this is my art. This is, I mean, I suppose one can say, well, I helped facilitate the creation of this through my efforts, but there's not like this possession of it, right? Like, have you ever made art where you don't sign your name? Do you know what I mean? All right, let's jump in here. What's in the middle? What's in the heart? Oh, Taurus. If you're dealing with any kind of possession, this could be family oriented. Maybe some of you have a family member that feels possessed. Interesting. They're possessed by something. Somebody's possessed by something. But it's not real. Oh. I heard you cannot, okay, someone cannot undo the knots of another. That has a linguistical twist on it. Maybe what they will or will not do. Especially whatever someone else is not willing to do. You can't do it for them. I heard don't get caught up in the guilt trip of what you coulda, shoulda, woulda done. If you own it, when a person says, "Oh, if I only," and then get down on yourself. And I feel like this is more tight relationships. I don't know if some of you have like a difficult sibling or family member. Interesting. Well, let's see what you're holding in your hands, because this is how we create, right? I mean, we're creating emotionally and mentally, but this line, but this is what we're doing, right? So let's see. What's in your hands? Well, you have the sun in one hand. That's really bright, but you know what? She's not really holding, like, she's holding that rain, but not really, not tight. Not tight. This person over here has both hands. He's got a good grip on this one, but this is both hands. So how do you have 3 hands? Oh, this month, Taurus, it's about letting go of something. Maybe you've already let go of it. Because 5 of Cups, it sits next to the sun. So this means that this is evaporating. It's becoming like the feeling around something is becoming warmer. A person's becoming stronger, right? More confident. Both these cards represent confidence in your hands, right? So I guess feel confident in what you're creating during this time when you find this. But try not to hold possession of it. You know, let me give an example. This has been happening to me over the last few years because of Pluto and because of Uranus. But where it was kind of like even this space here, when I started becoming, like, when I became more conscious of the responsibility attached to everything that I do and how that affects everyone else to such a minute degree, it almost got in my way of the flow of it, at least to me, mentally. Because we're not necessarily, I heard, was supposed to remember, like, what every single thing that we have gave somebody else. You know, like, oh, I gave you, remember I gave you that present, or like, remember I gave you this, or remember I did that for you. It's like that, it interferes with the flow of, the flow of giving. Interesting energy. What are you standing upon? Your feet are important. You sextile Pisces. So you're stepping softly this month. There's a suggestion to walk softly this month. It may feel a little floaty. Like, it's not that your feet aren't close to the ground, but it's... Have you ever had a dream of have you ever levitated? Have you ever... You could feel a little floaty this month. We're going to check on that in a second. I want to see how you're actually feeling, because your heart's saying this. But remember, we talked about this. What's the heart? What's going on in the heart? What am I thinking about? How am I feeling? Oh, it's 8 of Swords in the reverse. That card did a flipperoo. Thank God it landed. Thank God that happened that way. I heard it could have been so much more intense. And because of that recognition, someone's actually very happy. Like, it could have been a different outcome. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, okay. The fleet. What's that? Boats? Pisces. How is Neptune, if you're aware, try to tap in how Neptune is aspecting you. I also see your 2nd, 6th house. Just a minute. What's on your shoulders, Taurus? Okay, the world is on your shoulders. Nope. Nope. I heard no fucking way. Nope. You can handle whatever you're doing. But I heard don't you dare try to handle it all yourself. I actually see you'll hurt yourself. Like you're You'll feel it in your body if you're doing too much. I heard for somebody else. You cannot, I heard again, you cannot carry the world on your shoulders. Maybe this, even if you're not, because this is Cancerian energy to me, where a person's just like, oh my God, Tibet. It's just like, I heard, make your own bed. Okay, so, sassy. Sometimes we got to check it like that, though. You know what I mean? Like, we start projecting, like, what we're concerned about that's way outside of us, has nothing to do... I mean, does it have to do with everybody else? Sure. We can take this collective consciousness energy, but the reality is we're only control... I heard make your own bed. Right? We have to... Everybody makes their own bed. Interesting. So, if this has to do with somebody else's world, and this could be any other person in your life... that is or was. I heard you gotta let that, this month is for letting that go. There's the 8 of Swords. Oh, let's see mentally what you're, oh, 9 of Swords. You have there's an old memory. There's an old memory. Some of you, this could be your child. Or a child. And I see the words family. Oh, I want to cry. Someone's worried. Just a minute. Because we have to acknowledge each of these places, right? Because look, the feeling space is not... Well, I guess once you open the floodgates to your feelings, what happens when a person opens their floodgate? Let me tune in a second. Whatever this is, it's only temporary, and I feel like for most of you it has to do with something that already has been. It doesn't have to do with now. It could, but the way I see it is it doesn't. The Empress. That kind of emphasizes this female in your life. Or at least, very least, someone that you really, really, really care about. That you cared about. I guess some of you could be... Let's see. What's happening here? Okay, this reminds me of Cancer's reading last month. You're a caretaker too, right? You're ruled by Venus. You take care of the house. You take care of, your partner. You take care of your family. You take care of the bills. You take care of... Oh, I want to cry again. What happens when everybody, when there's, this is just a concept, regardless of what's going on. I feel like this is a concept you just want to sit with for a second. What happens when everybody else in your life takes care of themselves, or you ain't got nothing to take care of there anymore, and you just have to choose for yourself? What would you do? If it was just you in the world, like there wasn't any other humans, what would you do? What would you want to do? If like anything was possible. And I know it feels like there's a little floating energy, so maybe we're supposed to use this Pisces in a, because on your other shoulder is the Ace of Wands. That's creative. So let's look at it elementally, what's going down each side of your body. Because you're a Taurus field, right? It makes like a donut or whatever, whoever invented these shapes. But this, it's a butterfly, right? It's how their wings work in and out. So you have, on one side of you, you have you have spirit on both sides, but you have spirit, fire, air. The other side has air, fire, earth, and right down the middle, you have air, water, air. So, oh, there's regret here. This other word, release it. Release it. I heard everybody fucks up. Yep. Okay, do you believe in fate? This is 2112. Do you believe in fate? In destiny? Universal timing, whatever you want to call it? Well, if that's the case, then I guess anything that has happened up until this point was meant to happen how it happened, so that you could be here now. And I feel like that in and of itself is settling in at the same time that it's being let go of. I mean, I heard you could think about other paths if you want. You know, like, all right, well, if I would have took that path, if I would have, should have, could have done this, I guess we could use that. King of Pentacles, there you are. We could have used that. We can use that energy constructively. But I feel like more than anything, 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords, that just puts you back into a spiral. I would say 5 of Cups, 9 of Swords is definitely like hard dreams. And someone's certainly like sad about something. So, oh, okay. Or, and if you're not, although I sense this is going to come up. So if this just happy on one side for some reason, I heard no offense to anyone who's in a good mood. But again, these readings are to help the ones that are in the toughest spot, and then those that have built their strength in different ways. It's to process older things with courage right now, right? Because sometimes when we're in a good space, or we get a light about us or within us, then we can really evaporate some of the old shadows that are in the corners, right? So that they don't cling to us or creep at our ankles when we're trying to walk steady. Does this make sense? So I would Ace of Wands in the Sun card is pretty powerful. The Sun is actually conjoining Pluto this month, the end of January, as we get into Aquarius season. That's really powerful. But that also does not allow any possession ever. Even the possession of, well, either way, it causes a person to let go and to be like, well, shoot, I don't know. Right? I don't know. Where are you going? I don't know. So I guess in that sense, this month wouldn't be for major decisions again outside of you. Beyond your basic, I got to take care of the bills, I got to take care of the dishes, I got to take care of the laundry, I got to take care of myself. If you got children, you got to take care of that. But I feel like other people should be also helping with this process. If you are feeling a kind of way too, what does she need to hear? Hold on. To help her ease her mind. Just a second. To ease her heart and mind. Because those are things that are closing out. But it also kind of feels like when a person lets go of pain, it's like because the pain is so strong, or their experience prior associated to it, the pain or the situation was so strong that when the pain is gone, a person feels weak. Does that make sense? Maybe that's what we needed to hear. So if you're in an in-between stage, I heard, don't worry, come here. Just don't let the shoulda, woulda, coulda, the pain, the other outside that's trying to, like, how do I explain it? Like, what's that Nirvana line? It's like, she eyes me like a Pisces when I'm weak. Because I suppose other people know what's going on with you, regardless. Right? It's not like... They also recognize how freaking strong you are, too. So that's... And remember, vulnerability is strength. Vulnerability is a strength. I feel like Scorpio as a mirror would be helpful if any of you are watching this for a Scorpio placement. Well done on your mirror perspective here. Yes. Yes. I also see you can't control... Well, we already talked about it. So the Nine of Swords turns into the Nine of Cups. So as we move into Pisces season, you're going to be feeling a lot better. You're going to be feeling more confident. But I think there's some kind of acknowledgement that's needed. And maybe because we talked about the art in the beginning with Ace of Wands and the Sun card with the Two of Pentacles is kind of like... It's not creating to try to... I heard being scientific about it. Like technical about it. It's just... You know, I'm seeing like a kids making a sandcastle at the beach. And they're just decided to make the sandcastle out of nowhere. And they're like, I got these buckets, right? Let me work with these objects. It's like, I got these buckets, like, I got these shovels. Let me create with this. And then all of a sudden, someone's just like, lunchtime. And they're like, oh, okay, bye. You know, they're not worried about whether the ocean will come and wash it away. They're not worried how long it's going to stay. They're just happy for the next stage. Yeah. Yeah. And I would say there's some kind of, like, grieving mourning. I don't know if something has happened in February. Maybe you want to think back to, because if this is coming out of nowhere, because again the sun, and it could be one of those things where maybe it's from another time. I don't know if something's happened in February, or perhaps you've known an Aquarius, or whatever the situation. Okay. This is also, remember, a square time to you, so the mind particularly can be a little troublesome. So we want to be conscious of what's going on around us and make sure that you're checking in, because I heard it's okay to not know. Interesting, Taurus. Thanks for the lessons. Or don't be afraid, try not to be afraid of losing something. Or that you lost death. Okay. Just curious. Guess we already touched on that. We don't need to go back into it right now because we can just sit on the information that we've already gathered. Okay. I love you, Taurus. I hope this was... Yes, Sun card. I do love you so much. What a creative, interesting reading. You know, I guess that really is... Thank you again for the listen. I guess that's how we also create this space. Right? 31. Like, I never know what the message is going to be. I mean, I might have an inclination according to, like, what I've been thinking about and how I feel and when I get into it and what have you, but, you know, I always try to just pray on it and find my peace before I step into it, and then I just see where it goes, right? We just see where it goes. And it's fascinating where it goes. You never really know, right? Even when you have a plan of what the intention is, you never really know. And I guess that's what makes it fun. Okay. Take care of yourselves, and thank you for all your support. Any of you still here, of course, you are solid. Thank you for being so solid. Thank you for filtering through the light and shadow for however long you've been here, right? Holding that position, being steady. I know, yes, being fair and honest, having boundaries, like taking care of your money, like taking care of your body, taking care of your family, taking care of all these things. Thank you for taking care of them. King of Wands, yes, like a boss, right? Oh, side note. If whatever this is, if someone tries to pull the, like, I'm fine. When Pisces season comes around, I feel like it's like a flood. Did we say floodgate before? Like a floodgate will open. So better, Aries taught us this, right? You got to open the valve just a little bit and see. You know, again, maybe you're in a good space, great space, right? I feel like there's a lot of positive things in your life regardless of the hard shit that's going on, whether now or you're dealing with from the past. In that case, turn it on. Well, what's it look like? What's the water look like? Is it clear? Is it brown? Does it smell funny? You know, just test it so nothing gets rusty. Okay. Talk to you later.